Making this video to help you a little bit with the grammar.java assignment as well as the Module 3 Java exercise. So these assignments, this grammar assignment, this activity, the activity would be something that if we were in a face-to-face live setting, I would walk through something like this in class. But since we're not in a face-to-face setting, I'm trying to help you a little bit through this, and then you can turn this in for 5 points. And then this Module 3 Java exercise, you're going to find that these exercises are very similar to the activities, but you're a little bit more on your own. So for this is a 10-point assignment. So just kind of give you some clarification about what the heck these two are about. So there's no step-by-step directions for grammar.java, which often for the activity you'll see some step-by-step directions. So it's asking you to create an application using output statements and name the file grammar.java, and it must print at least 4 example of grammar mistakes using the incorrect correct explanation format. So what they're trying to show you is you would use this format. You would display incorrect there excited about Java programming, THEIR. That would be incorrect. And then you would display the word correct and there apostrophe RE excited about Java programming. And then explanation, wrong word usage, proper word is there, contraction. So this is just an example of what you would do. You have to do 4 of these in your output. So really all you're doing is you're in JGrasp. Get this to open. So if I'm in JGrasp, I would have a new file, a new Java file that I would do. I'm going to save a little bit of time here, and this is not something I would normally suggest, but I'm a little tight on that. I don't want to make this video too terribly long. So if you do this, just be really careful that you rename things and you do understand what this is. This is going to be called grammar. That's the name of the class. And I need to make sure that I have a right curly bracket to end main, and then another right curly bracket. And this stuff should line up. This stuff should align. And this is going to end the class. So what I'm going to do in here is I'm simply going to do some output. And I want output that's going to look similar to this. So like for example, this might be my first output statement. So I would do a system.out.println. And what am I going to do? I'm going to display that, and that ends my statement. So I would do 3 statements like that. I'm going to go ahead and do one more just to demonstrate what this is all about. So I'm going to do one more system.out.println. I'm going to display that. Now again, you would come up with these on your own. You have to have 4. So I'm not going to do the 3rd line, but just to give you an example. So I'm going to go ahead and try to run this. I'm going to save it as grammar.java, go to run it, and I'm going to get this output. Now what you might find is if you want to display certain things, you may have to use the escape sequence. There's actually, this is an example of one place where you might use an escape sequence. This is \T for tabbing, and your output should have the following format. So what the course coordinator is saying here is that you want to make sure that you're using \T to kind of align things where you can. So you can use like, I'm trying to think what he's looking for here. So like if I want to make sure I have a space here, I could use \T to do. I could put a \T. That's going to insert a tab return. I wanted to show you the difference. So you can see the output here of what it looks like, and then when I run this, there will be a little more space in between here. So you can use \T to kind of insert a tab return for that. Right, so make sure you have this heading at the top of your file, and that'll help you with grammar. So Module 3 Java Programming Exercise is very similar with output, except you have to use variables. And I'm looking for you to give me an application that calculates the total distance of a race with 3 segments. So the first segment is going to be 12.2 kilometers. What kind of data type would you use for a decimal base number? You could use a float. I usually use double, but you've seen this before in this video. I talk a little bit about different data types, and you've read about these. So you could use, like, you could say seg1 would be a variable for segment 1 would be 12.2 kilometers. And just to show you what that would look like, I'm going to use my grammar file to show you this. You wouldn't do this in grammar, okay? But just to give you an example of what that would look like is you would probably have a double, oops, not a double, a double called seg1, and I would assign it the value of 12.2. I don't really care about kilometers at this point. I'm just, because I can't, it has to be some kind of numeric value. And then segment 2 is 10.6. Segment 3, 5.8, and then you add all those up. You have to add seg1 plus seg2 plus seg3 and display the output. So there's no user input on this yet. We haven't gotten user input yet. We're going to do that in Module 4. So we're just displaying each of the values of each of those variables. So how would you do output? So if I had segment 2, I'm not going to do the whole thing here, but if I had segment 2, what's the value? 10.6. And then I could do this a number of ways, as I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. I could use just an output statement to actually display something like the total distance is, and I could then concatenate. I want to do concatenation of seg1 plus seg2. So watch what happens when I go ahead and run this. I believe it's going to give me an error. And it didn't really give me an error, but look what it did. So segment 1 plus segment 2 should be, I know, what is that, 22.8? But it said the total distance is 12.210.6. Huh? So what it did was this said, okay, well, you started with literal output. I'm going to continue that literal output, and I'm going to display 12.2, and then I'm going to continue literal output and display 10.6. Not what I meant. What I really wanted Java to do is not treat this as literal output, but I wanted it to actually treat this as a mathematical calculation. So in this case, I'm going to need parentheses here. So now if I run this, now it will give me something close. Now again, we're dealing with a formatting thing. This is a very precise answer. It's way more than what I need right now. And it's okay. I'm okay with dealing with that. We'll be showing you how to do formatting in a future lesson. So if it ends up with, trailing out to gazillion places at this point, that's fine. So this should help you significantly with grammar and Mod 3 Java programming exercise. Good luck.